It's just so nice even seeing the contributors again, but my book club is like not showing up here. It's only the authors. Who's here from book club today? All right, Lisa, there we go. Lisa, Darcy, Daphne, Francine, Raina, Diane. All right, amazing.
Your fan club's here.
What's that?
Your fan club is here.
Yeah, my fan club. Wait, there's some background noise. Okay, I'm muting you all because I am hearing a lot of noise, so everybody can unmute. Hold on one second. Mute all. Okay, that's better. Well, now it's really quiet. Okay, looks like maybe somebody else from book club's coming. Or maybe my own book was so unpopular with my book club and nobody wanted to come. Oh no. Well,
I didn't spend time with you, Zibby, so it doesn't matter to me.
Oh, thanks. Well, here's Carol. All right, she comes a lot. And Allison, thanks for coming. This is the most amazing group of people in book club today. Oh, somebody says the book was wonderful. Oh, Sherry, thank you. Sherry's saying the book was wonderful. Melissa's here. Okay, well, at least this will be a fun send off. I'll just record this and maybe I'll just release it because this is honestly the most exciting collection of people from the book anyway. So that's great. Excellent. All right, somebody else is showing up. Amazing. All right, well, I'm like overwhelmed by the amount of talent on this Zoom that's all gotten together right before Thanksgiving. So thank you for doing this. Sort of over the moon about it. I want the authors to introduce themselves because the few book club members who have showed up today are in for the best treat ever. So they're all right. Caroline Levitt, it is so nice of you to be here. Caroline, I'm gonna just call on people. Just say your name or talk. I don't know. Say anything. I am not that organized. Caroline,
okay.
Introduce yourself. Oh, Felicia's here. Okay, we got somebody else. Oh my goodness.
Happy pre-Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be in Libby's book, Mom Don't Have Time to Have Kids with Such Amazing Authors. I'm a New York Times bestselling author of Pictures of You. My latest one was With or Without You. And I just turned in my next book, which is tentatively titled Days of Wonder. So I'm just thrilled to be here. Thank you, Zibby, for everything. You are a wonder.
Oh, thank you. Okay, here's what I'm going to do a little differently to make this more exciting. I'm going to ask all the authors who are here from the book what they are going to make time for this Thanksgiving. And then when they answer, they can talk about their book. Richie, you're on the move. You're going to go first because I feel like, okay, unmute yourself. Richie is the author of Gay Like Me and also the essay Peloton and on and on and on. And actually, I mentioned the essay yesterday when I interviewed Robin Arzon from Peloton, and she was very excited about it. Yep.
So what was your question? Because I'm in the car on the way to pickup. I'm going to get my son from kindergarten because, you know, dads don't have time to do a book club and do pickup. So what was your question?
My question is, what's one thing you don't usually have time for, but you're going to make time for it this weekend?
Oh. Yes. So one thing that I don't usually have time for is dessert. I have cut out dessert completely for the last 2 years. It doesn't agree with me and my Peloton. So my family's getting together and I'm going to step off my regimen to enjoy my mother's mud pie, because she's made it for me since I was a kid.
Aww.
And it's a special Thanksgiving for our family, and we're happy just to be together.
I'm so sorry about the loss of your father.
Yeah,
Caroline Levitt just had a big loss, and I'm so sorry, especially around this time of year.
Yeah, I asked my mother, you know, my mother's 88. She's never lived alone her whole life. This will be the very first time. And I asked if, because we lost my dad a week and a half ago, and she said she's happy that Thanksgiving's coming up because she wants to be with everybody. So it's better for her that it's Thanksgiving time.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess silver linings. Well, thank you
Yes.
for making time, and we're holding all of you in.
Well, I'm so proud to be in your book and honored.
Oh, so sweet.
And now I'm in a tunnel, so you can't see
okay,
me.
goodbye. Susan Shapiro, can you go next? I know you said your internet's about to go off, and Sue is my teacher at a class I took at the New School and taught me how to write for publication. And she has written many good books, including 5 Men Who Broke My Heart and The Forgiveness Tour, and many others. The Byline Bible. All right, you take it away, Sue. We are on mute though, so take it away, unmuted. I would like to throw away Zoom. Okay.
So Zibby, I embarrass her, but I remember she was my star student, and I'll always remember you did a piece for Modern Love, which was like you were one of the few people that got into like a glossy woman's magazine for like
Modern
$1,000.
Bride, Modern Bride, not
Modern
quite
Bride, I'm
Modern
sorry,
Love,
Modern
but
Bride.
it's okay.
Modern Bride, yeah, it was $1,000. So that was like everybody was amazed. Yeah, so thank you so much. I'm honored to be in the anthology. And I have a book, as I mentioned, as Zibby mentioned, The Forgiveness Tour was my memoir this year, and I did a co-authored book called World in Between, which was co-authored with a Muslim Bosnian war survivor, a middle grade book. So I actually realized this weekend, I'm not going to write. I'm not going to work. So it just feels like that's a miracle. That's what I'm going to do differently this time, is just take a few days to chill out. I have an upcoming book where I think I mentioned you in your anthology called The Book Bible, How to Sell Your Manuscript No Matter What Genre Without Going Broke or Insane, but all the edits are in. So I'm just going to chill until it comes out January 4th. And again, I'm so excited to be in your anthology. I bought like 10 copies for friends already.
Oh, thank you. That's amazing. If anybody, by the way, has questions for any of these authors, you want to put them in the chat. I'm just going to try to ask everybody one question, but add something. And if this is really boring to you and I'm doing it wrong, give me private advice. All right, KJ, why don't you go next? KJ Del Antonio, by the way, is the author of The Chicken Sisters, How to Be a Happier Parent. She hosts the #OnWriting podcast. Take it away.
Thanks. It sounds awful to say I'm going to make time to spend time with my teenagers, but really the truth is they don't necessarily make time to spend time with me. So I am really excited because we're going to DC and we're going to go to the Black History Museum, which we've never been able to get tickets to before. We're going to go to a Caps game. We got all kinds of family stuff planned, and we don't get the opportunity to do as much all together. So I'm stoked about that. And normally I would be doing work stuff, so it's good.
Awesome. And KJ's essay is about, if any of you read the collection, maybe you all already read it and this is redundant, but it was a beautiful piece about breast cancer and learning Spanish and how it all was interwoven. I see some nods, so that's good. Excellent. Lily King just showed up. Hi, Lily. Wait, you're muted. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. We were just kind of going around. So Lily King is the author of Writers and Lovers and Euphoria, and a new short story collection called 5 Tuesdays in December or winter. No, there are not 5 Tuesdays in December. So that's how tired I am. And Lily wrote a beautiful essay about her daughter and her daughter's diagnosis and all of that. So I was just asking everybody what they're going to make time for this weekend. And if you want to say anything about your essay or whatever else, the floor is yours for a minute, and then I'll go around.
Oh, goodness. I'm just really looking forward to seeing my kids, who are both going to be here, and my sister and my nephew. And just, I'm really excited about family time and reading time. I really, really, really need some reading time right now.
What's on the top of your pile? putting you on the spot.
I'm rereading Alice Munro right now. I'm rereading a collection called Runaway that I love so much, and I've been reading it a little bit out loud to my daughter and my husband, and that's been really fun. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to not working for many days.
Amazing. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for popping in. Okay. Who wants to? Melissa Gould, why don't you go? I'm going to add a spotlight. Okay.
I unmuted myself. First of all, Zibby, it's so nice to see you and to see so many familiar faces here. And I'm so thrilled to have my essay about friendship in the anthology. And what's the question? What am I making time for?
Yeah, and Melissa wrote a beautiful memoir called Widowish about the horrible, untimely death of her young husband, and how she has used humor really and friendship and new love to overcome. The question was, what are you going to make time for this weekend? It could be a book, it could be a person, it could be whatever, or you could answer a different question.
Okay, this is so obnoxious, but I'm going to make time to vote for my book because, as Zibby mentioned, Widowish came out this year, and it is a Goodreads nominee for Best Memoir of 2021.
Wow, that's amazing.
Everybody please go vote for Widowish at Goodreads. And then the other thing I'm going to make time for is my daughter is in town for Thanksgiving, and I am making every single food request she has. So far it's been fairly easy, but she wants a pumpkin cheesecake, so I'll be making that. Stuffing, and then like she wanted eggs and salmon this morning, I made that. So I'm cooking, and if you've read the book, I don't love cooking, but now that she's here for the week, I'm like thrilled to cook everything for her.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, we will be voting unless anybody else, maybe we have competitive demands here. Here, let's see. I'll go back. All right. Are any other authors nominated for a Goodreads of the Word thing? You get to go next. No. Okay. I guess we'll vote for you then. All right. Jean Kwok, why don't you go? Jean's the author of Searching for Sylvie Lee. Hold on. Add spotlight. And she wrote 2 essays in this collection, one of which was about was she pretty, and the other about growing up in the, well, you describe it in the I do know it.
Right. Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here among all of these superstars. I wrote one essay called Mama, Am I Pretty? And it's about kind of not looking the way or not acting the way that your family or your culture expects you to be and to appear. And the other essay was called What You Write in This Will Belong to You. And it was about growing up really poor in Brooklyn and getting gifted a journal which was a safe place for me to write down my thoughts and feelings. And that kind of began my road to being a writer. I also just finished a book and handed it in, which I'm so incredibly relieved about. And I think that Carolyn is actually more relieved than I am, because I have spent so long emailing and calling Carolyn and being like, I can't do this. It's impossible. It's like the most impossible thing. How do you write? And she's like, I type. She's like, I just kind of, I do, but no, she gave me so much wisdom. But then the other thing was that I finished this book, I handed it in, but I'm actually under contract to write an original Miss Marple story for the Agatha Christie estate. So it's this kind of weird situation where I had finished the huge project, but I still had another writing project I was under, pressure to actually do and to do well and to hand in. But I have actually just pretty much finished that. So what I'm going to make time to do is, I live in the Netherlands. All of this lighting around me is artificial, so because it's actually really late here now. And so we don't have Thanksgiving. I know this is a very shocking idea, even though, of course, I am American, but we don't have the holiday here. And what I'm going to do, which I have not made time to do in this whole time I've been obsessing about writing, most of which, I was not writing, is I am going to make time to exercise, because I have this thing called an Apple Watch, and it literally said to me, you are in terrible shape. It was like, you are cardiovascularly and in every other way below normal. So I was really just like, really? Am I really? It was like, no, you are so not okay. So I decided I kind of, I have to get myself together and actually, try to be healthy again now that I no longer have to write for a little while. So that's me.
Amazing. By the way, when I interviewed Robin Arzon from Peloton yesterday, and I was talking about, moms don't have time to work out, she was like, yeah, I don't believe that. That's bullshit. She's like, sorry, moms don't, whenever you say you don't have time to do something, it just means you don't care enough about it. So anyway, I thought of that this morning as I dragged myself to the elliptical for the first time in ages. So awesome. I will be joining you maybe. Congrats on finishing your book, Jean. Can you tell us 2 things about it? Like anything? What's it about?
Yeah. Well, my new book is called The Leftover Woman, and it's actually about a young woman who comes to the US. She desperately needs to make a large amount of money fast, and she winds up getting a job as a cocktail waitress in a strip club. Meanwhile, she gets entangled with a wealthy American family, an executive editor, her language prodigy Columbia professor husband, and their adopted Chinese daughter, leading to murder. So that's basically what the book is about.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Shelly Johannes, I feel like I just saw you pop up. Go ahead.
Hello. I am Shelly R. Johannes. I am a little bit different than everyone here. I write picture books and have several series out. I am working on a YA, so hopefully I can blend in with you guys a little bit better.
You don't just write picture books. She's written this best-selling children's book that everybody reads called Cece Loves Science and Vivi Loves Science, and now it's a whole series and everything. So don't sell yourself short. And Shelly, by the way, is usually a member of this book club, so it's nice to have you spotlighted.
Yeah, and I can't stop smiling because I'm seeing everybody here, and I almost forgot that I almost forgot I was here as an author. And I was like, oh, I'm so excited to see everybody's face, and I'm so honored to be a part of this anthology. I'm so thankful. So Zibby, thank you for including me. My essay was around living with a chronic disorder that I struggle with kind of on a daily basis. So that was interesting to write about because I hadn't really written about it before. And I would say for Thanksgiving, I'm really looking forward to, this might sound bad, but I'm really looking forward to some downtime and just some time by myself. I mean, I feel like because I've been with my family so much over COVID, we have a low key Thanksgiving this year with my parents, and we didn't overbook ourselves. I feel like most years we overbook ourselves to where like the vacation usually ends up feeling stressful. And then by the time I get back from the vacation, it's ready to work again. So I'm looking forward to just having some downtime and some Netflix, and maybe getting some writing time in. So thank you for having me.
Amazing, of course. Okay, Laura Tremaine is joining us. She is the host. Here, hold on, not make host, hold on. Spotlight for everyone. Hi, Laura. Talk about your podcast, your book, share your stuff. I'll go next. Your podcast, 10 things I want to tell you, or I just probably said that wrong.
Well, actually, Zibby, the title of the book is Share Your Stuff. I'll go first. You're supposed to go first, not next.
Oh, see, I would go next, but okay, fine.
You would go next. Everyone else can go next. I'll go first. Just kidding. But that is the title of my book, actually. I host a podcast called 10 Things to Tell You that is about sharing yourself and how sharing ourselves will make us less lonely. Because I've been writing on the internet for a long time, 12 years plus. And I feel like women, moms especially, just have an epidemic of loneliness, even though they're surrounded by people all the time. And I just kept hearing that over and over when I was mom blogging and doing all these other things. And so I started a podcast that kind of dedicated to sparking connection and having good conversations and all of that. And out of that spun my book, Share Your Stuff, I'll Go First, about sharing your stuff with others. But what I'm going to do this Thanksgiving, what I'm making time for, is super boring, but I think people will understand. My husband just had surgery last week. He's fine. Everything's great. But we had sort of like decided to have a really mellow Thanksgiving week. My kids don't have school all week. Like we were purposely powering down. And so I had done a bunch of podcast work and, my normal stuff in advance. And so I found myself actually with some time, which is lovely. And so I'm doing something that I've been putting off for, I don't know, years, which is making an actual website for myself. I mean, I have a lauratremaine.com. Like I have sort of a landing page.
I love your website.
Well, okay, so my podcast website I paid for someone to do, and it is like if you can outsource that, that's the way to go. But I also feel, and that's 10thingstotellyou.com, which like it functions, it does all things podcast. But I constantly feel myself being like, I wish I could point someone to like a general landing page about this other thing I do, like my Patreon, or I do these social media challenges, whatever. Like there's always like little things that you're like, sure would be cool if I had a place people could go and learn more about that, but I just never do. It just feels like you're always juggling so many things without like a cohesive, I mean, maybe that's just me, but anyway, I said, I have a little bit of this time, so I'm going to like actually flesh out a sort of hub for myself. And it kind of just falls into the category of those things you always say you're going to do, or you always mean to do, but then you just like never, ever have time until suddenly someone has surgery and you're like, well, I'm on the couch empathetically recovering with him, so I'm just going to laptop it up. That's what I'm doing this Thanksgiving.
Amazing. Well, I hope your husband is better. I saw his x-rays of his before and after of his hip, and I was like, I can't believe I'm spending my time now looking at Laura's husband's x-rays. Like, what is wrong with me?
Anyway, social media.
I
Share
know.
your stuff. You know
I'm
what I mean?
fascinated, By the way, speaking of websites, the Zibby Books team, we are launching a new initiative, which I could actually share my screen and show you, but it's a secret until Saturday. But because you're all here, I could tell you. But we're starting hashtag 22 and 22 to encourage book lovers to visit 22 bookstores in 2022. And we have a series of incentives. If you go to 1, if you go to 5, 10, 15, and 22. And I've gotten a bunch of partners whose logos I haven't even had time to add to the site today, because I built the site myself this weekend. So Laura, if you need any website tips, I actually know how to make websites. And I could show it to you really fast because I'm super excited about it.
I love that, Zibby. That sounds great.
And here, hold on, now it's not working. Well, so much for that. Okay, I'll try it again in a minute. But anyway, check it out, or maybe Sherry, you can add it to the chat or something. And it's 22 and 22. I don't know why this is a whiteboard. Oh, I have to change my preferences. That's really annoying. I'm on a different computer thinking that, okay, forget it. I'll try to figure this out while somebody else goes. Okay, so moving on. Let's see, Terry Cheney, why don't you go next?
Hi, everybody. This is so exciting to see you all. It's like a novel coming to life. It's great. And Zibby, you're one of the things I'm very thankful for this Thanksgiving. You've just been a tremendous champion for me and for books. And I just love you. You're great.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to make everybody else feel bad now because I'm actually going to write over Thanksgiving because I have not had time. I've been so swamped with other stuff. And I just figured out a story problem last night in a dream of all things. And I'm just raring to go to I've been really stuck and I can't believe that this came to me. So I'm excited. I'm going to write. And that's and eat tons of food that's good and bad for me.
Do you go to sleep thinking about it, Terry? Like, did you do something to make this magic happen? Help us. I
have been stuck. I mean, you know that place. And this character would not go anywhere, do anything that I wanted her to do. And she's been on my mind. And I believe we're always writing, we're percolating, and that just happened. So I'm just really jazzed about it.
One of my author friends, Serena Bowen, and I have a rule that the only thing you're allowed to worry about before bed is the book.
That's brilliant.
It is a good rule. It doesn't always, sometimes it's hard, but yeah, I just nope, stop that. Not the kid, not now, but the book.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So this is my new book. It's called Menace to Society, and it poses the question whether a really bad and dangerous person can ever truly change. So we shall see.
Wow. Sounds great.
Thank you.
I could have dreams like that. Mine are always like these random weird dreams, like I'm running through a mall and then I'm jumping off of a car and then I'm rolling through something. Mine never seem to be coherent enough to write about.
Well, I guess this character has entered my consciousness and will not leave till I get her down on the page.
Amazing. Okay, Amy Agresti.
Hi, it's so exciting to see everybody. And I still feel so lucky to get to be in this book with all of you guys, because oh my gosh, like I'm such a big fan of everybody. So thank you, Zibby. I'm also very grateful for you this Thanksgiving, because this is just so much fun to be in here. Let's see. Well, my most recent book is The Summerset, which is about Hollywood and theater, but I haven't seen a movie in a really long time. And we're over Thanksgiving, we're going to see my in-laws, and they haven't seen the kids in a long time. So I'm going to park the kids with the in-laws and take my husband and maybe my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and we're going to go see Bond finally, because I've not seen the new Bond, and like I love me some Daniel Craig. So I should be writing and reading. I'll do that too, hopefully sometime. But yeah, date with Daniel Craig.
Awesome. I am planning on watching King Richard. I don't know if anybody's seen that yet, but that's what I'm making time for. I'm super excited. No, anybody? Not yet. All right, Carla, you go next here.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm having my own little fangirl moment with all these awesome authors, and nice to see you, Zibby. I wrote How to Stop Losing Your Shit with Your Kids, and I'm currently working on my next book, which is called You're Not a Shitty Parent. And so I am actually really excited to write over Thanksgiving, because my kids are now old enough that they sleep in the mornings. And if I don't have to get them up from school, I can get like 5 hours of writing time in before they even wake up, which is amazing. And then I'm going to beat their butts at Hearts, which is our favorite family card game. So that's our plan for Thanksgiving. We're just staying home, having dinner with my in-laws and keeping it small.
Amazing. Carla wrote a great essay about sleep apnea, trying to find your way through sleep disorders. And for anybody who's ever stayed awake late at night, or you can read that. You can read her essay and you'll feel less alone, for sure. Okay, Lindsay Powers.
Hey. Okay, I think I'm unmuted, but I have
yes,
it up. Also, I'm super excited to be on this. It's cool to see like all of your talking heads when I'm so used to just seeing your name on the front of your books as I'm reading it. And thank you, Zibby, for letting me write about my pandemic pod in your anthology. My book is You Can't F Up Your Kids. So I like that it's from Carla to me. I feel like we're kindred spirits with like profanity books, which is great that our kids bring us to swear or drive us to swear. But for Thanksgiving, I'm really excited to see extended family. We are for the first time going down since 2019, going to Washington, D.C. to stay with family. And I haven't seen some of my nieces and nephews down there for a really long time. And my kids who are 5 and 8 have also not spent a lot of time with these cousins. So I think it's going to be just a really amazing time to, now that we're all getting our vaccines and my kids included, just be able to relax a little bit and spend some time together.
Amazing. Any tips for us for that in terms of parenting, in terms of your title?
Yeah, you can't F up your kids. It's okay to bribe your kids if you start from the beginning. Don't wait till they're freaking out to offer the bribe. Offer the bribe before you get in the car or before you get to the meal, so that they know what the goalpost is to be awarded. And then you can use it all day.
Amazing. Carla, how can we not lose our shit with our kids this Thanksgiving?
I like Zibby's head. Are you like looking for the kids to see if they're there to hear the swear word?
Yeah.
Look, I am not a fan of getting super rigid over Thanksgiving. I think it's and the holidays, it's a nice time to like be a little relaxed and let things chill. But I would say that I always make my kids exercise every day, which I make myself do, because otherwise we're all total jerks to each other. I try to make sure they eat, because people assume that over the holidays, the problem is they're going to eat too much sugar and it's going to make them crazy. Certainly for some kids, that's a problem. But for a lot of other kids, they're so excited about whatever's going on, they forget to eat. And then they get cranky and awful. So try to keeping them on some kind of regular schedule. And then if you don't have teenagers who sleep late, but you have little kids, I would say try to keep their sleep schedule as normal as possible, because the little kids always wake up early. And if you let them stay up too late, then they're just exhausted. They won't sleep in. So I think staying on top of the basics really helps with everybody. Oh, Zibby, you're muted.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did it myself.
We all do it.
Oh my gosh. My goal in 2022 is to like not do Zooms anymore. I'm so sick of Zooms. I want to be in person. And I want like all my podcasts in person and book clubs in person. And I just am like, feel like I'm in some alternate universe where nobody's in 3D anymore. And I've had it.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Then we have to put on pants, and I don't know where my pants are.
I mean, you can wear sweatpants, but some pants would probably be a good idea. I mean, you know, sweatpants would be fine. Okay. Did I miss anybody? Hold on. I'm going through every box. Did I forget any contributors? Hold on. I'm still going down. I think that might be everybody. Okay. If anybody feels forgotten, let me know. Okay. This is great. So that's everybody who's an author. Let's open it up to some questions from the audience. And again, I'm sorry to the contributors that we don't have more of a turnout for my book club, but it doesn't matter. I'm delighted to actually get to see you guys and hear what you're doing for Thanksgiving and all that. So does anybody have any questions for all the authors? And if not, I'll think of something else, or we could go early or whatever. We'll do like one or a couple questions, or we won't.
So I have not a question as much as a comment. I love this book. I love the stories. One of the sections that really jumps out is moms don't have time to be sick. I'm a little bit older than a lot of people on this call, and I can just remember all the years when someone got sick, no one talked about it. Everybody kept secrets. And it really was a very scary, frightening thing. So to read these amazing essays, and it wasn't just in Moms Don't Have Time to Get Sick for me, there were other, subtexts and other of the essays, that people are so open and willing to share and be honest with their family and their kids and their friends, and in a book. I just think that was a really wonderful part of the book for me, to see the honesty and the forthrightness. We hear that throughout our book club talks with a lot of the memoirs, but this was particularly important to me. So I wanted to just say that, and I'm very grateful. Thank you, all of you. It was wonderful. And all of my young friends are getting a copy for the holidays.
Perfect. Thank you, Daphne. That means a lot, because I know you're a tough critic of many of the books that we've read. So this is particularly appreciated. Thank you.
Zibby, can I just add one thing?
Please.
I just wanted to that comment, Zibby's assignment when she called us to write the essays was she wanted people to feel less alone. She wanted to have us share our feelings so other people would not be alone in their feelings. And to hear that landed and was conveyed was very moving, and I credit Zibby with that.
Oh, thanks, Richie. That's really sweet. I do feel that, at the core of it, we are all on the same page, and so many things get in the way. And if I can aggregate some essays from all of you, and everybody knows that even amazing authors have moments just like us, right? Then, you're like the Us Weekly going to the grocery celebrities here, right? It's the common vocabulary for everybody. So, any more questions for these amazing authors?
Zibby, I have a comment. I wrote for the 6th section, and what I liked about the anthology in general is that it kind of takes away that idea that moms complain. Like, I love that there's those topics that, like, we're not complaining, because I think that's, if you bring up any kind of negativity, or dads, you know, people will be like, oh, but you're just complaining. You're always like, oh, but I'm grateful to have kids. And I love my kids. And I love, and you're always like, I feel like I'm always quantifying it. So, you know, when people are sick or when we don't have time for our kids or we don't have time for ourselves, like we're not complaining. I mean, we love this. We made choices. But I think it's just more human to kind of get it out there in a funny way, in a connecting way, and kind of get away from that. We have to be perfect moms or we're complaining about our kids, you know, mentality. So that's what I loved about it.
Thank you. Awesome. Any other questions and comments? Anything?
Alvin?
Meeting this guy? No?
I put one in the chat, Zibby.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
Megan. No, it's okay. You can read it from there. Read it from there.
You're not going to take.
Megan is wondering, I just muted this guy. I'm curious if anyone has something other than publishing a book that they are working on that feels like a risk at the moment. Curious about balancing writing with other risks. Anybody taking on a risky thing or that feels risky, trying something new?
I don't mean like dangerous. I mean, just sort of like, you know, either a creative expression or, you know, something, another, I think of writing as like sort of this way of growing. And I'm just curious about like other things that might be like.
Who is jumping out of a plane this weekend? Is really the question.
This is stupid, but I've been teaching in person for 25 years, and all of a sudden I had to start teaching online, and I was completely scared because I'm a technophobe, and it was scary. And not only is it exciting on Zoom, it's almost like better because I can reach people from all over the country. So I did feel proud of myself at my age that I mastered something else. Although one of the places where I teach then said I have to take a computer course to do Canvas that was so complicated and I couldn't do it. So hilariously, I'm doing better just teaching on my own because for Zoom, I could press 4 buttons, but the asynchronous thing was too confusing to me. But anyway, so I do feel like I was proud of myself at this age to 60 to be able to like master something new.
Totally. That's perfect. Thank you.
So I never volunteer. I am famous for never volunteering. I refuse to help my children's school, which doesn't need help, or my children's teens, which also don't need help. But I just stuck my hand up in response to a call out for a totally different kind of volunteering with people who actually do need help, namely refugees from Kabul who are coming to the United States to resettle. And I kind of put my hand up and offered to organize because I'm really good at organizing. And I said like flat out, I was like, do not come to me with the trauma because I'm not, that's just, you don't want me to talk about how hard this is. But I can find you people who will help you get a driver's license. I can find people who will help get the kids in preschool. I can find people who will help. So I'm like finding all these people. And I really didn't take into account the fact that my plate was already full. And I'm wrestling terribly right now with, you know, I don't want to, I'm not giving that up. I said I'd do it. I'm going to keep doing it. But the other things I do aren't things I can let go of either. And now I'm in a real moms don't have time to find, I guess. My friends keep telling me, get a bigger plate. And I'm like, dudes, there are no bigger plates. Like, this is all there is. I'm gonna have to figure out something. Do things more slowly, I guess.
Maybe you can ask for help.
Great.
Well, I'm taking a big risk, which is I'm starting to date again. Does that count?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, that counts.
But I have this kind of malicious intent behind it, which is I've written about all my boyfriends and I'm out of people to write about. So that's one of my
risk driven by writing still counts. That is amazing. That's terrific.
Thank you.
I love that.
So our big risk that we're taking is just this morning, I decided that we should go to Israel for 2 weeks at the end of December, which is actually really soon. That's really, really soon. And we haven't been on a plane since COVID started, and we haven't left the country since COVID started. So this feels like a really big risk that is a good choice for us, but I don't know what the hell we're doing. So there's
good
that.
luck. That
Good
sounds
luck.
amazing. That also sounds amazing. I love these answers.
Yeah, these are great. Any other risks? Caroline.
I'm learning to sing. I cannot carry a tune. I've never been able to carry a tune. My vocal range is 4 notes. But I started to learn by doing karaoke's with my husband, and he wanted to make it more exciting. So he went and he got us costumes as Sonny and Cher. And we practiced for 2 whole weeks. And I found that I loved it so much. And my singing actually got a little bit better. So we're going to do another one next week. And we haven't decided who to do yet, but it's thrilling. It's the best thing I ever did.
That is
okay. That has to end up on your Instagram. And I
am
so glad I asked this question. It's just the best. I'm not surprised that a bunch of creatives have these other things that they are doing that are also amazing. This is just the best. That is amazing, Caroline.
Send me an email and I'll send it to you privately.
All right. It's a bet. I'm doing it.
Any other, Dara, go ahead.
Hi, I didn't want to jump in. So my risk is kind of weird, although the psychologist on here who asked the very insightful question will appreciate this. So physical risk, I'll speak in front of a crowd of 5,000. I told my kids I would streak butt naked through their college. They didn't like that idea, but physical risk, no. So for the first time in my life, given I'm a Floridian, this is a fair thing. I got on skis last year. I didn't fall. My daughter is behind me singing some blessing. I don't know if it was the Hashki Venu, it was hysterical. I was like, I hope you guys don't have to carry me out here. But I have my younger child, now she's 17, cheering me on. So I made a pact to myself and to my family and to my little girl inside who never took risks because my childhood was everything was fearful and whatever, that I'm going to do something physical every year. I went paddleboarding this past summer in Acadia National Park. So there are 2 risks. I was in front of people in a bathing suit, which is horrifying. I mean, that's the biggest risk of all, like I'm itching talking about it. And I got on a paddleboard and didn't fall or get killed. So I'm working on something for this winter or summer of some kind of physical risk. So that's where I'm at.
I love it. Totally love it.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions for the group? Nothing?
Zibby, can I ask one as a book club member?
Yeah, of course.
I was just wondering, when you guys wrote the essays, did it give you any ideas for stories, or did it give you guys any ideas to catapult into another book, or kind of something that would, I guess, continue that story at all?
Question. How cool would that be? But no.
I'll throw out one thing. Let's see if I'm muted.
You're
I'll
good.
throw out one thing, which is in my upcoming book, the book Bible, I do say if anybody here hasn't published a book or wants to publish another book or wants to switch genres, starting with an essay, a 3-page essay, it's a fantastic way to start a book, in almost any genre. And so I actually, a lot of times somebody wants to write a book and 300 pages is extremely intimidating. So I tell all my students, if you have a book idea and you're not sure how to get started, 3 double-spaced type pages. And I actually, my favorite assignment is write about your most humiliating secret. So if it's a memoir, if it's an essay collection, if there's any, anything dramatic, even sometimes if it's a novel or short story collection, but there's something dramatic that happened in your life, and I love all the essays and many are dramatic, that is a really good way to jump into a book, I think.
Excellent. Look at this. We got some free writing advice today. It was all worth it. Fantastic. Okay. Anyone else? I know people are slowly having to drop off, so I don't want this to trickle out and die as a pre-Thanksgiving Zoom. So any last pressing questions? If not, I'm going to wrap it up. Actually, that puts undue pressure on whoever asked that question.
Thank you. Just a big thank you.
Thank you to all of you.
Yeah,
thank you. I'm so grateful to all of you for contributing, for showing up every other week to book club, and for coming today. And I hope that that you all have a really wonderful, restorative, reading-filled Thanksgiving and start of a great holiday season.
Thank you so much, Zibby.
Thank you, Zibby.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Zibby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Bye, Terry. Bye, Zibby. Bye, Shelly. Sherry.